So I'm going to give you guys a second to come on in, join the conversation. I want to know what questions do you have about saving on taxes outside of the general question of how can I save on taxes or how can I pay less taxes as a business owner? That's what I want to talk to you all about today. So, as you come on in and join the conversation, I want you to interact with me today. I don't want to just be talking at you. I want you to engage with me. This is a live broadcast. However, if you are watching a replay, hashtag replay and drop your question in the comments, and I'll be sure to respond when it comes across. But those of you who are joining the live broadcast with me tonight, feel free to jump in the comments and let me know what questions you have about how to pay less taxes as a business owner, or how to maximize your taxes as a business owner. All right. I have some suggestions and some ideals that I want to share with you today. Some things we've talked about before, but as we are on the second half of the year, or if you want to say we're kind of like going into third quarter, we're well into third quarter. It is August. And so I want to make sure that I've done my due diligence with making sure that you understand and know how you can maximize or save more on taxes as a business owner, and to give you some tips and some practical strategies on how to set these things up, to set these strategies up to ensure that you are paying as little taxes as humanly possible. All right. And so come on in and join the conversation. But I have 3 tips with you that I want to share today. Thank you so much for joining. I have 3 tips that I want to share with you today with regard to some strategies that I want to share with you on how to pay fewer taxes. And number 1 is, and we talked about it before, is those of you that have children that are of age, hire your children in your business. Hire your children, whether it's to help with social media. All right. Children are really into the social media. All right. Thank you, sis. No problem. Children are really into the social media. They can help with that. They can help you with organizing your documents or your electronic files, as we are in the information age and in the electronic age and using technology, right? They can help you organize and your electronic documents, whatever it is, whether or not, if you're a real estate agent, they can help you with your listings and sending out emails, or whatever it is they can help you with. You want to hire your children. All right. And the way that you can do that and make it tax deductible is you have to make sure that you have them on payroll, right? Number 1, you have to have them on payroll. You have to have a separate account set up for them, a whole separate bank account. Now, their account doesn't need to be a business bank account, but you definitely want to be paying them from your business account, right? So you want to be able to transfer that money from your business bank account to an account that is set up specifically for your child. And the amount that you can write off per year is the standard deduction, which in 2022 or 2021 was $12,550. So you can pay your child as much as $12,000 per year, $12,550, $1,000 a month, right? And then once that money is in their account, you can use it for whatever you see fit, whatever you and your child deem appropriate to use that money for. But that is going to become a tax write-off for you, $12,000 that you don't have to pay taxes on. So that could be a huge savings for you as a small business owner. The other thing I want to share with you, and I talk about it all the time, is your SEP IRAs, your self-employed plans as a business owner. All right, you want to make sure that you have your retirement account established and that you're pushing money into that retirement account. And that retirement account can and should be a SEP. Now, if you want to have a Roth IRA set up as well, which is you're depositing after tax dollars to that, after the money has already been taxed, then that's all fine, well, and good, because who knows what the tax rate is going to be down the line. However, if you're looking for a tax savings today, you want to look at a SEP plan, setting up a SEP plan for yourself as a small business owner. And as a small business owner, you can contribute up to $58,000 per year, or 25% of your income into that SEP IRA. And that can be a huge savings for you if you can go ahead and maximize that SEP IRA plan and make sure that you're kind of sheltering some of your income today. I also always like to talk about the benefits of an HSA. And so as a business owner, again, you're responsible for purchasing your own medical insurance, right? And so with that, I always encourage people to look at the high deductible health plans. By the way, I voted today. Did you? Today is voting day here in Michigan, and I did my due diligence. I just had to take a little sidebar and let you guys know that I did vote. I got my sticker. Do you have yours? All right, I digress. But anyway, I was talking about the HSA account and how you should be looking at a high deductible health plan. All right, a lot of people shy away from the high deductible health plans, but there is tremendous benefits in selecting a high deductible health plan with a corresponding HSA plan, which is a health savings account that you can attach to your high deductible health plan, and then you can contribute and put that money in there tax-free. That means that you're going to contribute dollars that have not been taxed, and as long as you use the money that's put into that account for qualified medical expenses, then those dollars never get taxed as long as they're used for qualified medical expenses. And so there's a lot of moving parts and mechanics that's associated with the HSA plan. And so we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about that today. However, I do offer free consultations. So if you'd like to talk a little bit more about how the HSA plans work, then feel free to go ahead and schedule that consultation with me, and we can delve a little bit deeper into how the HSA plans work. But as we kind of walk down this year, open enrollment usually happens at the beginning of every year, but those plan documents start coming out right around October, November. You'll start getting those plan documents and have an opportunity to review your plan options so that you can make an informed decision prior to January, because those plans will become effective January 1st. Right. And so in fourth quarter, which we're in third quarter now, in fourth quarter, those documents are going to start coming out, and you're going to need to make the decision about what health plan you're going to use for you and your family going into the new year. So I highly recommend you take a look at a high deductible health plan with a corresponding HSA. HSA accounts are not use it or lose it. Those carry over from year to year. And then once your account exceeds $2,000, there's an investment vehicle attached to that. So you can invest the difference to allow those funds to grow even quicker. So there's multiple benefits that come along with an HSA plan that is worthy of you taking a look at and asking some questions about it. If you're not sure how it works and you need a little bit more information, always reach out, ask somebody for some help, ask questions before you finalize your decision. It can make a difference in your bottom line as a business owner. All right. And then the last tip that I wanted to share with you is regarding travel related expenses as a business owner. So when you are traveling for business, those expenses are deductible. All of those expenses are deductible as long as your travel is associated to business or business related travel. So that includes your airfare, your Uber trips, your rental car, your gas, your hotel stay. All of those things are deductible. Conference fees. If you're going traveling for a conference that's going to improve your business and what you're doing in your business. Those conference fees are deductible. So keep that in mind, even as you plan to build your budget for 2023. You want to start considering putting some of those types of things in, because professional development, I know I said the tip was for travel related expenses, but it's kind of tied in together. But when it comes to professional development, that is a tax write-off as well. And it's something that you should be doing ongoing, is investing in yourself. You want to make sure that you're investing in yourself. And so if you're traveling for conferences, business related conferences, those types of things are tax deductible. So you want to take that in mind as you're planning the rest of this year, as well as going into the new year, 2023. And then when it comes to travel or local, kind of like commuting, the vehicle expenses is another huge deduction that you can take as a business owner that can impact your bottom line tremendously. However, I do want to implore you that when it comes to vehicle expenses, all of your deductions, you want to make sure that you're keeping copious notes and records, right? But especially when it comes to vehicle deductions, because vehicle expenses and deductions are a highly auditable kind of area. So you want to make sure, and in fact, it's an IRS requirement that you have a mileage log. So if you are using your business, even locally in your city, if you're using your vehicle for business related travel or movement, you want to make sure that you have a mileage log. And that mileage log could be something as simple as your notepad, where you're keeping track of those notes on there, the date, your starting destination, your ending destination, and the purpose of that travel or that commute. You want to make sure that you're keeping copious records of every trip that you take. Okay. And if you don't want to do the whole handwritten thing, there's a lot of mileage apps like a Mile IQ. All right. Even in QuickBooks now, they have a built-in functionality within QuickBooks where you can turn that on when you get in your vehicle to take that business commute or trip, and you can identify it as business travel or business commute. All right. And it will track it. Just know and understand that when you're taking your mileage deduction, you have to keep track of all of your movement, all of your mileage, especially if you're using a vehicle for personal and business purposes. Okay, so if you have a vehicle and you're using it 50% of the time for personal and 50% of the time for business, you want to track all of that. Thanks, Dana. Thanks, Rumi. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for the feedback. Let me know if you have any questions or if I'm not explaining this adequately, because I want to make sure that you all understand. I know Miss Moss Mogul is using her vehicle, and sometimes she travels to take her deliveries to her clients. Rumi, you want to make sure that you're using a mileage app to keep track of your mileage. You don't want to leave that deduction on the table, right? You want to make sure that you're tracking your mileage when you move that vehicle. And if it's for business related purposes, you're going to make some money. All right. You want to keep that information and track that information. So at the end of the year, you have your copious notes of what your starting mileage or your odometer reading was at the beginning of the year, what it was at the end of the year, and how many of those miles were driven for business and how many of those miles were driven for personal, for business and for personal. All right. And that is a huge deduction that you don't want to miss out on. It's not one that you'll say, oh, it's too much to keep track of all of that. Just forget it. No, we're not going to forget it. We're going to do what we need to do as business owners, and we're going to track that information. We're going to track those miles and make sure that we're getting all of the write-offs that we are entitled to. Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right. Okay. And then I also want to let you guys know that because of the rising gas prices, The IRS made a mid-year shift for the mileage rate for 2000. Each year they adjust it for like inflation, right? And we know that inflation, that's a whole another conversation, right? We're not going to get into an inflation discussion today, but we know that inflation is a word that's being tossed around nowadays. It happens every year, but this year it's unprecedented, right? Because of the trickle down effect from the pandemic. Okay. And so the mileage rate was at 58.5%, 58.5 cents for the first half of 2022. And the IRS made an adjustment. They increased it 4 cents because of the rising gas prices. All right. And so from July to December, you'll be able to deduct 62 cents per mile for business mileage. Just imagine 62%. It's not a percent, it's a cents. But if you can correlate it like 62 cents on the dollar, that's more than half your dollar. It's actually 52.5 cents. That's more than half your dollar that you get to deduct for business related commuting. And so you want to make sure that you're tracking that, and that you're talking to your tax professional, and that you guys know exactly what it is you're going to need, what type of documentation you're going to need when it's time to file your taxes. Okay. So those are some real quick yet powerful tax deductions for business owners. And if I could just recap real quick, the first one was hiring your children in your business. That could equate to at least a $12,550 deduction per child. All right. You want to make sure that you're considering and contributing to a self-employed plan as a business owner, up to $58,000 or 25% of your income. All right. The HSA, the health savings account, that's attached to a high deductible health plan. Those amounts vary, but it is a very lucrative tax write-off for business owners. All right. And then your travel and or your mileage, things that's associated with business related activities. So those are some very powerful tax write-offs for business owners, not to mention just your day-to-day expenses that you're incurring to run your business. So make sure that you're keeping copious notes. If you're not using a bookkeeping system, you should be. I do have an affiliate link where you can get a discount off of QuickBooks Online up on my website. And so I'll go ahead and share that with you all now. The website is here, www.triedandtruefs.com. And so you can go ahead and go up to that website, check out the resources, check out the links that I have on my page, and there you'll find the discount for QuickBooks. If you need to get a new QuickBooks account set up, you can get a discount for the first 6 months on that software. If you need some help getting your MileIQ set up, or your HSA account set up, or any of the things that I talked about today, your SEP IRA, any of the things that I talked about today, feel free to reach out, give me a call. I'm happy to help, but I want to make sure that you are maximizing your deductions as a business owner, so that your bottom line, that you're keeping more of your money in your pocket, so that you can impact your household, your family, your household, and the generations to come. All right. All right. Well, it's been real. I enjoy hanging out with you all today. I enjoyed sharing these nuggets with you today. And please know that I'm always here to help. If you feel led to schedule a free consultation, that can be done up on the website at www.triedandtruefs.com. It's been your girl, Beva Lee Smith, with Tried and True Financial Services, where our impact is to help entrepreneurs with the ABCs of finance to simplify your accounting, budgeting, and credit processes. Have a good night, and I look forward to seeing you next week.